NASA stands for the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, which is a United States government agency responsible for the country's civilian space program and for aeronautics and aerospace research. NASA was established in 1958 by President Dwight D. Eisenhower in response to the Soviet Union's launch of the first artificial satellite, Sputnik. NASA's mission is to drive advances in science, technology, aeronautics, and space exploration to enhance knowledge, education, innovation, economic vitality, and stewardship of Earth. NASA has been involved in a number of high-profile space missions, including the Apollo missions to the Moon, the Space Shuttle program, and the Mars rovers. NASA was established on July 29, 1958, when President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed the National Aeronautics and Space Act. Since then, NASA has been involved in numerous missions and projects related to space exploration, aeronautics, and scientific research. Here are some of the major accomplishments of NASA. Human spaceflight. NASA has launched several human spaceflight missions, including the Apollo program, which sent astronauts to the Moon, and the Space Shuttle program, which deployed and serviced the Hubble Space Telescope, and built the International Space Station, ISS. Robotic missions. NASA has sent many robotic missions to explore our solar system and beyond, including the Voyager missions, which explored the outer planets, and the Mars rovers, which have explored the Martian surface. Earth science. NASA has a robust Earth science program that studies the planet's climate, weather patterns, natural disasters, and other Earth systems. NASA's Earth science missions include satellites that study the atmosphere, oceans, and land surface. Aeronautics research. NASA conducts research on aeronautics to develop new technologies and improve aircraft safety, efficiency, and performance. This research includes supersonic flight, advanced materials, and autonomous systems. Technology development. NASA develops new technologies that have applications beyond space exploration, including medical devices, solar power systems, and water filtration systems. These are just a few examples of NASA's many accomplishments. Overall, NASA has played a crucial role in advancing our understanding of the universe, developing new technologies, and expanding human knowledge and capabilities. NASA has sent many missions to study the objects in our solar system, including the Sun, planets, moons, asteroids, and comets. Here are some examples of what NASA has collected from these missions. Moon samples. During the Apollo missions, NASA astronauts collected and brought back to Earth samples of rocks, soil, and dust from the Moon. These samples have been studied extensively and have provided valuable insights into the Moon's geology and history. Martian soil and atmosphere. NASA's Mars rovers, including Curiosity and Perseverance, have analyzed the Martian soil and atmosphere to better understand the planet's geology, climate, and habitability. Asteroid samples. NASA's OSIRIS-REx spacecraft collected a sample of material from the asteroid Bennu in 2020, and the Japanese spacecraft Hayabusa 2 collected a sample from the asteroid Ryugu in 2019. These samples will be returned to Earth for analysis. Jupiter and Saturn data. NASA's Galileo and Cassini missions collected data and images of Jupiter and Saturn, their moons, and their rings. This data has helped scientists better understand these gas giant planets and their complex systems. Solar wind particles. NASA's Genesis mission collected samples of solar wind particles and returned them to Earth for analysis. These samples have provided insights into the composition of the Sun and the early solar system. These are just a few examples of what NASA has collected from its missions to the solar system. Overall, NASA's exploration has greatly expanded our knowledge of our celestial neighborhood and our place in the universe. NASA has had many famous and accomplished scientists throughout its history. Here are some of the most well-known. Neil Armstrong. Armstrong was an astronaut and the first person to walk on the Moon during the Apollo 11 mission in 1969. He was also a test pilot and an aeronautical engineer. Sally Ride. Ride was an astronaut and the first American woman in space, flying on the Space Shuttle Challenger in 1983. She was also a physicist and a professor of physics at the University of California, San Diego. Carl Sagan. Sagan was an astronomer, astrophysicist, and science communicator. He was a leading figure in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence and helped design several NASA missions, including the Voyager spacecraft. Katherine Johnson. Johnson was a mathematician and computer scientist who worked for NASA during the space race. She calculated the trajectories for the Mercury and Apollo missions and played a critical role in the success of these programs. James Hansen. Hansen is a climate scientist and former director of NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies. He is known for his research on global climate change and for his advocacy for action to mitigate its effects. These are just a few examples of the many famous and accomplished scientists who have worked for NASA. There have been several Indian American scientists and astronauts who have worked for NASA over the years. Here are some notable examples. Kalpana Chawla. Chawla was an astronaut and the first Indian-born woman in space. She flew on 2 space shuttle missions, STS-87 in 1997 and STS-107 in 2003, which tragically ended in the loss of the crew when the spacecraft disintegrated during re-entry. Rajesh Sherry. Sherry is an astronaut and a member of NASA's Artemis program, which aims to return humans to the Moon. He was selected as an astronaut in 2017 and is scheduled to fly on a mission to the International Space Station in 2022. Sunita Williams. Williams is an astronaut who has flown on 2 space shuttle missions and 2 long-duration missions on the International Space Station. She has logged over 321 days in space and holds several records for spacewalking. P. Venkatachari. Venkatachari is a researcher and engineer who has worked at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory for over 30 years. He has contributed to numerous missions, including the Mars Exploration Rovers and the Mars Science Laboratory. Arun Majumdar. Majumdar is a physicist and energy expert who served as the first director of the Advanced Research Projects Agency Energy, ARPA-E, at the U.S. Department of Energy. He is currently a professor at Stanford University and serves on the board of directors for NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. These are just a few examples of the many Indian American scientists and astronauts who have contributed to NASA's missions and programs. Tamil Nadu. And there have been several Indian American scientists and astronauts who were born in Tamil Nadu, a state in southern India. Here are some notable examples. Rajesh Sherry. Sherry was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin to Indian American parents, but his father's family is originally from Tamil Nadu. Sherry was selected as an astronaut by NASA in 2017 and is scheduled to fly on a mission to the International Space Station in 2022. Sunita Williams. Williams was born in Euclid, Ohio to Indian American parents, but her father's family is originally from Gujarat and her mother's family is from Tamil Nadu. Williams is an astronaut who has flown on 2 space shuttle missions and 2 long-duration missions on the International Space Station. Venkatraman Ramakrishnan. Ramakrishnan was born in Chidambaram, Tamil Nadu, and is a structural biologist who won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 2009 for his work on the structure of ribosomes. He is currently the president of the Royal Society in the United Kingdom. C. Kumar Patel. Patel was born in Kambe, Gujarat but spent much of his childhood in Tamil Nadu. He is an electrical engineer and physicist who co-invented the carbon dioxide laser while working at Bell Labs in the 1960s. These are just a few examples of Indian American scientists and astronauts with roots in Tamil Nadu who have made significant contributions to science and technology. There have been several Tamil Nadu-born scientists and engineers who have made significant contributions to NASA's programs and missions over the years. Here are some examples. Venkatraman Ramakrishnan. As mentioned earlier, Ramakrishnan was born in Chidambaram, Tamil Nadu, and won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 2009 for his work on the structure of ribosomes. While he has not worked directly for NASA, his research has helped advance our understanding of biological processes that are relevant to space exploration, such as how organisms adapt to extreme environments. Nagavara Ramarao Ramachandran. Ramachandran was a mathematician and computer scientist who was born in Trichy, Tamil Nadu, and worked for NASA from 1962 until his death in 2001. He was known for his contributions to numerical analysis and computational fluid dynamics, which are critical fields for designing spacecraft and simulating spaceflight. C. Kumar Patel. Patel was born in Kambe, Gujarat but spent much of his childhood in Tamil Nadu, and he went on to become an electrical engineer and physicist who co-invented the carbon dioxide laser while working at Bell Labs in the 1960s. This technology has been used in a wide range of applications, including laser spectroscopy of planetary atmospheres. Sridhar Kota. Kota was born in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, and is a mechanical engineer who worked at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory (JPL) from 1985 to 1995. While at JPL, he helped design several space missions, including the Mars Observer and the Cassini-Huygens mission to Saturn. These are just a few examples of Tamil Nadu-born scientists and engineers who have made contributions to NASA's programs and missions over the years. APJ Abdul Kalam, also known as Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, was a prominent Indian scientist and politician who served as the President of India from 2002 to 2007. While he did not work for NASA specifically, he was known for his contributions to India's missile and space programs, which have strong ties to NASA and other space agencies around the world. Kalam began his career as a scientist at the Indian Space Research Organisation, ISRO, in the 1960s, where he worked on a number of projects related to satellite and rocket technology. He later moved to the Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO, where he played a key role in the development of India's first indigenous ballistic missile, the Agni. Kalam's contributions to missile and space technology in India helped to establish the country as a major player in the global space industry. He was also a strong advocate for science education and worked tirelessly to promote science literacy and innovation in India. Kalam passed away in 2015, but his legacy continues to inspire scientists and engineers in India and around the world.